Pressing record. What is up, guys? Welcome to another video. A very different type of video. We're gonna talk about sugar and what can happen if you don't consume sugar for almost 2 years. Be advised, we do not talk about the sugar contained in fruits. This is from my personal experience. I am not a fitness guru or a nutritionist, so this feedback and advice is unlicensed. So how did I start this journey? Well, one day, while I was fat, I was obviously looking for ways to lose weight and feel healthier, since I was kind of feeling like, you know, a bit heavy. I always enjoyed working out, but always felt like some laziness was like overwhelming me. I would skip some workouts. I would be like, yeah, not now. So I was thinking, how can I do this? And obviously you have the diets where you can eat only meat, intermittent fasting, counting your calories and being in a caloric deficit, all this information about how can you lose weight. And all of this was a bit confusing to me, since I never attempted to actually lose weight, because I never expected to gain so much weight back then. And so with some help, I came across some resources like Good Sugar and Bad Sugar from Allen Carr, or the Whole30 method, which starts with food. Then there were documentaries like Fathead, which really put in perspective how sugar affects the body. Now, I will not enter in any scientific terms because I may be wrong and I don't have any expertise in the matter. I just understood that sugar can be seen like a drug. So specifically, trying to prove this to myself, I was eating these Belvita biscuits that we have here for like breakfast, and I was reaching one biscuit. I ate it, of course, didn't actually feel fed, and then I was looking at the other biscuits and I just couldn't wait to reach them. And I feel like I had this kind of like eating disorder. I think it's too much to say eating disorder, but I would always be hungry or wanting to eat something every 2 hours. Added sugar, which are basically empty calories, which overstimulates your taste buds, and you get this overwhelming sweet taste, makes you chase sugar, but it doesn't have any benefits from any perspective. After I saw this behavior, I was like, man, sugar is a problem. But how can you know if something is really a problem? Or how do you know you're not doing something right? Well, you try it. So I read It Starts With Food, I watched the Fathead documentary, and I went on my journey to remove sugar from my body. The first obstacle was that I had to cook. Anything I ordered would have some kind of sugar in it. Everything labeled had in the ingredients sugar. So like everyone in that situation, I would be like, so what the heck am I eating? What can I eat? So I started to cook basic dishes, which you can find in Whole30 as well, which has a bit of a more strict approach to eliminating sugar, a bit more strict than the paleo diet, which is kind of what I did to keep myself away from sugar and keep myself healthy and fed so I can go to the gym, do my workouts and function in the day properly. So the first meal I cooked, remember, was chicken breast with sweet potatoes, not even normal potatoes. I tried to remove sugar, bread, potatoes and milk, and trying to figure out what can I eat based on these restrictions. So I ate these sweet potatoes and that chicken breast, and I was like, yeah, I finished my meal. And I was like, man, I still, you know, something's missing. I just want to eat something. But I tried to control myself, and it was hard. The first 2 weeks was very hard because I had to cook for like the whole week, eat some eggs in the morning with yolk and all, then go to work, eat my lunch, which I cooked at home obviously, go back home, and figure out what can I have for dinner, without any snacking in between at first. I went to the bathroom more times than I can remember. My whole body was feeling like a bit cramped. I had these many changes because the overwhelming protein I gave it, because before I would eat sweets and all that stuff and I wouldn't really care about food that much, so I was putting a lot more on my meals rather than snacks. And after these first 2 weeks, it was kind of like a straight line because my body got used to the new way of eating. I figured out stuff you can eat out that doesn't affect the parameters I just mentioned, and overall it started feeling doable. One thing that was really helpful was healthy fats like avocado, cooking with olive oil. I found these coconut flakes in a bio section of a supermarket, also good as fats. So my plate would look like chicken breast, sweet potatoes, coconut flakes or an avocado put there. That was like a normal plate that could keep you fed. It would keep you away from craving sugar. Why it did work and how it did help? Well, I just had this mentality from what I read from the resources that sugar never makes you feel full. Why? Because, and then one of the books is a comparison. When you eat ribs, right? You bite on that rib and taste all that meat. The longer you bite on it, the less you want more of it. because you're actually feeling fed and your brain gets the signal that you're feeding yourself, and at one point you will feel fed, so you'll stop. You just don't want to look at these ribs anymore, just gonna play with them on your plate. But with sugar, a bag of Oreos for example, when you eat one biscuit you won't get that signal, so you don't know what's going on. They tasted good, but they never made you feel fed, so you started eating another one, and another one, and another one.
Another one.
Up until the point you will actually feel sick, and that's when you stop. Your body has like an eject mode rather than a feeling full mode, which is very different. In the morning I drank my coffee black, that's why I drink it now. I enjoy it so much right now. In the beginning it felt impossible, but before I would drink coffee with sugar, and after one coffee I had an uncomfortable feeling in my chest area, and it was like a little sting, and I was like, man, this doesn't feel so good. Because the sugar also gives you this fast high, you know, you feel like energetic, you feel like hyperactive, you want to do all that stuff that you wanted to do. And then after probably an hour or two, it depends on the body of course, the energy drops and you feel like, oh man, I do not want to do anything today, I just want to sit, and that's it. And that's why some people claim when they drink coffee with sugar, I feel my heart's racing, I feel like these energy spikes, like really, I feel a bit agitated, I don't like the feeling. Well yeah, because actually black coffee, the coffee itself with caffeine, is meant to produce artificial cells that mimic the feeling of being rested. Not agitated, rested. That's why you drink coffee, because you want to feel rested after a bad night's sleep or something. So when drinking black coffee, I did not have this problem anymore. Everything felt great. Right now, if someone throws some milk or someone spills some sugar in my coffee, I actually feel offended. Like, it tastes bad now. I like the black coffee, the pure taste of it. So after some months, while I was looking at myself in a mirror every day and I would see no changes, or at least I thought, I actually dropped some weight. And I was like, man, this is awesome. I felt motivated. I want to do this more. And of course, every time I had to keep the discipline. Like, I'm going to this restaurant now. What do they have that I can eat? These have broccoli, some ground beef. Great, I can eat that. Broccoli with ground beef. This is what I felt the only kind of a disadvantage, because I didn't have many carbohydrates to eat, or at least I was probably avoiding them just to lose weight, like good carbohydrates. And you know, they have their own role of keeping your energy up, but of course do not overconsume. Like, don't go there and eat potatoes and stuff. Eat some rice with vegetables, or eat vegetables with potatoes, and they're actually sweet naturally. At night when I went home, I had to think, okay, I'm gonna have my eggs with some, and this is gonna be my night meal. Basically, in 6 months, I think, I dropped from 92 kilos to 74. And I kept that 74 well over a year. So imagine, I could eat meat, I could eat vegetables, as much as I wanted. I never counted calories, because I actually didn't know back then. I just didn't even try. I feel like this was too complicated for me. It felt nice, like I could eat whatever I want as long as not bread, some sweets, or all the pastry. Just cut those. And I felt great. My energy levels were steady. They were not spikes like, oh, I had some sugar. Oh, I feel so good. Now I feel so tired. I feel so good again. Now I feel tired again. God damn it. No, I had like steady levels of energy. Some days I had a bit more energy, some days I had a bit less. But because of my rest and other habits, not only food. But food, I learned from this experience, is an important factor in you feeling good and in your well-being. So the only exception I made after 1 year and a half was consuming alcohol, because alcohol, of course, has sugar in it. I think every alcoholic beverage has sugar in it. But I accepted it. I was like, okay, this is my cheat, let's say. Some red wine. That was my primary choice back then, because I heard it's the least harmful. How would I say now with more knowledge? It has less calories. So I drank here and there, kept the same eating habits, and I had no problems. I was full of energy. I did not get fat in any way, and overall it didn't actually feel like a diet. I wasn't actually restricting much, like how people like you don't eat meat, you don't eat carbohydrates at all, or you don't eat vegetables. Just be careful, eat few vegetables and all that stuff. Measure your plates, do all that stuff. It felt all complicated. You could just eliminate dairy, pastry, sweets, and just fill the rest. I mean, it's not just sweets from sugar. Like I mentioned, alcohol, sauces they put in sandwiches or burgers, they're you're still full of sugar. And yeah, fast foods are like a breeding place for sugar. As far as fitness and how I felt in the gym, it was great. I never had this brain fog. I was always focused, I always went in, did my workout, felt great about it, couldn't wait for the next gym session to come, so no problems in energy there either. This is one of the main points for me because I trained probably the same way, eating sugar or eating everything I wanted and not paying attention to it, and it's just... I was getting fat by the minute. Overall, my experience was amazing. And now I don't even get sweets. Like if you eat cake or something, you know, I just take a slice just because it's someone's birthday. I'm not absurd. And it just feels tasteless. It's sweet, but you don't feel fed. You don't feel the nutrients going into your body because it has none with all that sugar. And it's just, no man, I'm not going back. I prefer to eat a burger just to cheat rather than eat some cake. So I hope you all found this informative. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Press the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for future content. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!